This young pelican had already grown up, yet it still refused to catch fish for itself, waiting for its parents to bring food to its beak. One day, its father returned with a large fish, but, unexpectedly, he tossed the fish into the air and swallowed it whole himself. The father knew this was meant to teach the young pelican to live independently, yet the little pelican would rather go hungry than lower its head and catch fish. Faced with such a child, the parents were at a loss. They had no choice but to continue foraging, raising this giant baby. What they didn't know was that the young pelican had already learned how to fish. Every time the parents went out, it secretly dove into the water to catch fish, pretending to be helpless. Because this way, its parents would keep taking care of it. After all, who would refuse a life of unearned comfort? But this comfortable reliance on its parents eventually led to a tragic turn. One day, while the parents went out to fish, they were suddenly caught in a violent storm. Even so, they struggled desperately to stay in flight. After all, they had a child waiting at home to be fed. Finally, after the rain stopped, the father returned safely, holding a fish in his beak. But the mother never appeared. The father immediately dropped the fish and flew out to search for her. After a long search, he finally saw a feather floating on the sea, the mother's feather. It meant she had met with misfortune. The once happy family was instantly shrouded in grief. The father spent all day staring at the feather, lost in the pain of losing his partner. He stopped fishing and let himself go hungry. With no one left to feed it, the young pelican had no choice but to catch fish for itself. Deprived of parental care, it was forced to grow up. Seeing his father so despondent, the young pelican finally realized it had to do something. At that moment, dark clouds covered the sky and rain began to fall again. Seeing his father unmoving, the pelican pretended to be scared, curling up next to him. When the rain stopped, the father opened his eyes and saw his son beside him. He finally remembered that he still had a child to protect. To encourage his father, the young pelican suddenly dove into the sea, catching a large fish to show him. It thought its father would be happy, but the father remained expressionless. So, the young pelican tossed the fish to his father, letting him eat it. This gesture finally touched the father's heart. He realized that his son had truly grown up. However, at that moment, the fish managed to escape. Although the father didn't get to eat the fish, his expression was no longer cold. Suddenly, he picked up his wife's feather and soared into the sky. The young pelican didn't yet understand what was happening. Then the father looked back at him, signaling him to follow. Seeing that his son was mature, he decided to take the child away from this place of sorrow, to a new place, to begin a new life.